Hey guys, Matthew with Khaos. I'm here today to introduce you to the new series on my channel called Learning After Effects. With this series, you'll be learning how to operate After Effects from very basic to very advanced different techniques that you can use, and just learning how the program operates in itself. It'll be really fun, it'll be really awesome to learn this, and I'll be learning alongside you. Definitely, I'll be researching a lot of things that I've not learned before and be implementing them into my videos now. So let me know what you think, guys. Let me know if you think it's a good idea, how I'm doing. I'm doing this for you. So let's go ahead and get this started. Whenever you open up After Effects, you might get a little work area kind of like this. This is my work area. I'm going to change it back to standard. Probably get a little bit of something that looks more like this. Probably looks more close to what yours will look like whenever you open it up. So I do not like this work area. Just going ahead and start it off like this. I think it's not very well set up, so I'm going to go ahead and customize it just like you would in Photoshop. So what I do is I pull my preview down here to the very bottom, and then bump this up, knock out info, pull this up, and now we are in my work area. You can also do this right here. If you already have a work area set up, just go up to the little workspace menu, and mine is called Match Work Area, and ta-da! Match Work Area. So that might have been a little bit too quick for you, a little bit too confusing, but just kind of an overall thing. There will be a link in the video right now to the Photoshop version of this, which is moving your panels and windows around. It's the exact same concept with After Effects. But just make sure that you have a menu selected with this orange box around it. You must have the orange box to edit anything. Whether you're editing your content or you're editing your video or you're working down here at the very bottom, it must have this orange box around it so you know where you are working. So you just make sure that you have the orange box, and then the title, this is project. Just click it, drag it to wherever you want. I could put it up here at the very top if I wanted to. That'd be ridiculous though, because you see this looks like crap now. You could put it down here in the bottom. You can adjust the height. You can do whatever you need to do. But I do not want that. And especially if you start working with like standard or effects or animation, different panels like that, and you happen to move some stuff around that you're like, oh gosh, I didn't mean to do that. You can just go up here to the very top where it's the go away. The workspace, and just go to reset. Yes, and ta-da! Your work area is now reset. So once you have your work area set up for exactly how you would like it to look, you need to go to File, New Project. I prefer to do New Project just to make sure that I'm not overriding one. Just make sure it's starting from 0 and building up from there. Didn't change anything on this one because we weren't working with a project. I just wanted to show you the process of that. Now you go to Composition, New Composition. Compositions are kind of like individual videos that you can build and then move around into one main one. I always set mine up with a main comp, that's what I name it, just so I know where all of my final videos need to go is into this one composition for the final video. With this menu, you have a lot of different options. You have presets, all these different HD TV ones, the NTSC, all these crazy things that you don't need to know about at all. Basically, you need to know that HD, HDV, HDTV are some of your best. I use the 1080 2997 frames per second down here at the very bottom. It gives me 1080p videos for YouTube. It's very, very good. But definitely if you're trying to do different sizes and things like that, definitely something to research into with like the web banner, web video. You can customize it to whatever size you really want to. But if you're just trying to go for standard 1080p or even 720p, you could do 720 2997 here or 1080 2997 there. So I'm going to stick with 1080 2997 right now, and then you can see your width and height right here. Lock aspect ratio 16:9. What this means is if I adjust one, it'll adjust the other to keep it proportioned correctly. Pixel aspect ratio, square pixels. I don't really mess with this. I feel like square pixels are fine with me. It doesn't affect me in any form or fashion. Frame rate 2997, and then you could always increase that. I prefer to keep mine at 2997. It's not too slow, it's not too fast, it's just right for the frame rate that I need for my type of videos. Definitely something you can play around with too and kind of figure out your own preset that you enjoy using with this. But for now, I would leave it at 2997 and just not really work with it. Then you have resolution, full. Of course you wouldn't want full, that'd be ridiculous not to have it. And then time code, I do not mess with time code at all. I would leave that alone. Duration, this is how long your video is. It's set up in milliseconds, seconds, minutes, and hours. And hours. So I'm just going to go ahead and zero this out. So this is what yours most likely looks like. It's just zeros. Or it looks like this, 30-second video. Who needs a 30-second video? That is ridiculous. So for the longest time, I had no idea how to fix this. Duration is also editable after you've already made the composition. You can resize it to whatever you need. So I'm just going to leave this at 30 seconds now. Background color. That'll just give you a default background color behind any content that may have transparency to it or just something that's not being covered up. The background will be whatever color you make. I'm choosing mine to be black. And press OK. So now you see that it looks a little bit different. All our panels over on the side still kind of look the same. Right here in our project menu, go ahead and click on that, the orange box is there. You see that there is a main comp. This main comp is this down here. This is where I put all of my final media into this one composition, or kind of like a folder where it's all together and I can play it through here and I can render this out by itself. So now that we have main comp, we need to go back to composition one more time. New composition. And I'm going to name this one video stuff. You can really name this one whatever you want, and you can also adjust the different durations and size aspects to it. It really isn't going to affect your final composition because the main comp is the one that you're going to be rendering, not this one. But for the most part, I try to keep it all the same other than duration, just so I can make sure that everything looks exactly the same, and you can always resize it later. So video stuff. Now you can see in the project menu, there's another composition named video stuff. And there's a composition down here named video stuff. Alright, so I'm going to move my render queue over here. Oops. There we go. Okay, so main comp, video stuff, and project. Next would be adding media to your compositions. So now you have your main comp and you have your video stuff. So we want to put something in video stuff to be able to use it. So I'm going to go to File, Import, File. I'm going to go to, let's go to my movies. I have many tutorials in here to use. Do Quicktime screen recorder. Open. So you just select it, press open, and you can see it kind of gives you a little bit of information up here, so you can adjust your composition size to whatever you need it to be. And it's also down here in your project menu. So to put that video that I just imported from project to video stuff, you just click and drag. And there you go. There's always a little bit of resizing that may need to be done, especially with my videos because my screen recorder isn't in 1080p, but you can just hold down shift and click the arrow or the corner square and resize it out to whatever you need. If you have an extremely small video, this is a very bad practice to use because it won't give you better quality. It'll actually end up looking worse, and definitely something to try to avoid with smaller videos. But since my videos are already high quality, I have the ability to be able to stretch them and they still come out in 1080p. So now that we have this here, It's called Quicktime ... rec ... move. I do not like that. I want to rename it. Normally, you would just double click on it, kind of like in Photoshop or like a folder on your computer, and just rename it whatever it is. After Effects is confusing and not like that. To rename something, you must press Enter and make sure that you have your area selected, the yellow or orange box around it. This also applies with project. So press Enter. I'm going to name this Video 1. And then press Enter again. Now this is renamed to Video 1. And you can see you can press spacebar and watch it go, and however the video may go. But you may be able to tell that there is no audio to this right now. The way that you check audio is Composition, Preview, and Audio Preview here forward, or Audio Preview Work Area. Either one works. There are hieroglyphics for the shortcuts to it. I do not know what they are. I've had a Mac for quite a while and I still do not know them. But there are shortcuts for it. I always just go to Composition, Preview, and then preview it from there. Also, something else that you can do is RAM Preview. RAM Preview is going straight from your RAM, putting all of your RAM dedicated to this video, where it'll go ahead and load it all and then play it back perfectly for you. So let's go ahead and do that. It's going to take slowly but surely. It's going to go. And so you see it is looking better. It's in definite oh, there it goes. It started playing. And you can see that it's in perfect perfect sound. You can kind of hear me in the background breathing. It's really creepy. But definitely that is a cool trick to use, especially if you have a very large video and a lot of stuff to handle at one time. RAM Preview is awesome if you have a computer that can handle it, and just go through it and see what it'll look like. I think that's going to be it for this video, guys. Thanks for watching. Let me know what you think. I know I covered a whole bunch of stuff in this video like really quickly. If you need anything broken down into individual videos, I can definitely do that for you. Just let me know, and I can do whatever you need me to do. Thanks for watching, guys.